Hello and welcome. This resource talks about how you can think of your research project in connected frameworks, specifically those that deal with literature, theory and concepts, and methodology. All of these parts of your thesis need to be clearly connected to one another so that they can help you build your thesis argument. The first framework is traditionally called the literature review. This is an odd term though, because you actually review or use literature and published research throughout your MA or PhD thesis. Every part of your project will involve references to other published work you will use to build and shape your argument. This framework sets the context for your study. It is an argument for what research problem you will focus on, what solutions, insights, and so on have already been offered by the most relevant and useful published research, and what gap needs to be addressed in your study. All of the published research you include here must therefore be relevant to your research, and you need to write this framework, which could be one or more chapters, with your proposed research problem in mind all the time, so that you can explain how and why the literature you include helps to build a deeper understanding of your study and what it is focusing on. This framework is informed by the first contextual framework. Your research problem or research question will influence your choice of theory or concept that can act as a way of theorizing your data or looking at it in a less common sense way. For example, if you are researching institutional change, you would need theory and concepts that speak to processes of change, like activity theory. If you are researching climate change and social behavior, you would need theory or concepts that speak about an abstracted understanding of society and behavioral change, as well as relevant theory and concepts about climate change and related processes. Theory and context are connected. They need to be so that the argument you make for which theory and concepts you are choosing to use and why is clearly connected to the research problem or question you are addressing. The next connected framework you need in any research project is the methodology framework. This, again, is an argument you will need to make for your chosen research design. For example, is your study qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods, and why? Again, the research problem and the chosen theoretical or conceptual framework will inform your choices here. Which methods of data collection or generation will you use, and how will they help you to generate the most useful forms of data to analyze? How will you connect your theory with your data so that you present a theorized discussion of your findings rather than a descriptive account of your data? From here, you will move into some form of analysis in which you make and consolidate your study's contribution to your field. The main point to take away here is that research projects like an MA or PhD thesis evolve over time. Rather than trying to start from the beginning, writing formal chapters, start thinking about connected frameworks and writing parts of these that can then be joined up with your supervisor's feedback into chapters. The orange dotted line in this graphic represents your overall argument, the point or contribution of your thesis. It will be easier to create and pull through this overall argument chapter by chapter if you can work on creating connected frameworks that inform one another and see these as interconnected parts of your argument.